What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about how I built 5 streams of income by the age of 27. And I'm going to break down each exact income stream for you fully in depth. I'm going to show you exactly what I do, exactly who pays me, and how I make that money. And then I'm going to show you exactly how much I make from that stream. Now, before we jump into this though, I want to hear from you. I want to know specifically how many income streams you have, and if you think that there's like a limit to it. Do you think there's some threshold, maybe like 5 or 10 or 20, where too many streams is too many to manage? Or do you think that the general rule of thumb is just the more the better? Also, I think it's really, really important to touch on one important message before we jump in and break down each stream individually. And that is not to get caught up in, chasing the next best thing. You don't want to get shiny object syndrome. We constantly hear over and over again, diversify, diversify, diversify your income streams. And while that is based in truth and a great message, it's really just a gauge. It's a target that you should aim at, not something that you should chase immediately if you're not there yet. You have to build to these things, so you should be focusing on one thing. Yes, test a bunch of things, but once you figure out what works for you or what seems to be paying you, you should go all in and master that one first. Obviously, in a perfect world, more income streams would be ideal. But regardless of where you actually are and how many income streams you have currently versus how many you may want, don't jump the gun. This is exactly the mistake that I made, and obviously I talk to a lot of other entrepreneurs on a daily basis, both that consult with me, some email me, and others that I look up to and network with as well, and that is that you don't want to get caught up chasing too many things and getting shiny object syndrome. Master one thing, focus on one thing, then once you actually have that fully scaled and you feel like it's something that you can kind of turn the burners off and maintain for a little bit, then add another stream of income. The key being though, that second stream of income, or maybe it's your third stream of income on your second, should be ideally related to the first 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, however, wherever stage you are in the process. They should be somewhat related. I think that that's very, very important. That will allow you to keep your focus and maintain your focus on all the income streams overall, and not just have one that you're focused on and then one that's completely unrelated, or the idea rather is to have one big plate that's paying you and then go get another plate. You don't want a bunch of little crumbs paying you $50 a month. You want to build something up that's paying you $10K and then add another income stream and build that up to $10K, and you get the picture. Now that we got that out of the way finally, let's jump in. All right, guys, so before I actually list number 1 for you, keep in mind that these are 5 businesses that have worked for me. This is my anecdotal experience. Now, I have failed in so many different online ventures. I've failed business model after business model. So if you are failing right now, keep that in mind and, understand that it's part of the process, and it will really weed out what is not right for you. Because like I said, I failed so many different businesses. These are the 5 that I've gravitated towards and really have worked for me long term. I'll lay them out here for you here in a second. Also keep in mind that, I teach a number of different business models online, especially in some of the courses that we're going to talk about here in a second. And there are certain business models that I've gone away from. Maybe I feel like they're too competitive. Maybe I don't enjoy them. Some business models have been paying me half decently, but I just don't like them or I don't enjoy them, and so they're not necessarily worth my time when I can focus on growing something that I love. So this is my experience. It doesn't mean that this is the way that you should go or that other things won't work. There are a lot of ways to make money. Jumping right in now, first and foremost, as I'm sure a lot of you have guessed if you're watching this channel, is basically arbitrage. Now, I do arbitrage mainly on Amazon, and I do arbitrage, online arbitrage 99.9% of the time. When I was first starting out, I also did arbitrage, retail-wise, and I would go to, some flea markets here and there. I didn't do it that much, but it was just basically, I was quitting my initial job where, yes, I made, I think it was like 11 bucks an hour at a golf course. It absolutely sucked, and I hated it. It was demoralizing, and I was in school at the same time. But, so I was basically doing online arbitrage. I started started doing, just building up a nest egg to get into business model number 2, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I also do arbitrage on Poshmark. I do it on Mercari, and I used to do it on eBay before I got suspended. If you want to check out the eBay suspension video, I will link that in the description below, and I'll also drop a card up in the right-hand corner right now for those of you that want to check out why I was suspended, and then maybe come back and watch the rest of this video. But, when I first started, I wasn't earning anywhere, close to what I am earning now. It was about 100, maybe 500 a month max, and I was saving and saving, money up every single month so I could initially launch my private label product, which will be number 2 here in a second. But now on any given month, it's about 5 to 8K a month. Sometimes it's closer to 5, sometimes it's closer to 8. It really depends on, how fast I've scaled that month, how many products I'm buying, and how much time invested I want to put into it. Some months I travel, some months I don't do it as much, and other months I'm scaled fully up to like that 8K mark. It really depends from month to month. Moving on, like I said, business number 2, very, very related to business number 1. I still do the online arbitrage every single month, and I still do the private labeling every single month. However, private labeling is kind of hands-off for the most part, especially the way that I do it. And I've been doing private labeling, pretty much as long as I've been doing online arbitrage. I've failed so many different private label products, probably a good 4 or 5 now. And some of them worked for a period of time and then they got more competitive. Other sellers just influxed on those products, as I'm sure the majority of you that have done private labeling can attest to. And if you want to check out the very first private label product that I launched that failed, and the full breakdown on why it failed, I actually did a video of that, probably 4 or 5 months ago. I'll drop a card up in the right-hand corner, and I'll also link that in the description below the eBay suspension video. But so right now, like I said, I have 4 current private label products. Realistically, they don't make that much money. So I know that you were probably hoping, 10K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month. For me, it's not like that, whether or not I, have invested in a product that got too competitive, or, maybe I haven't scaled the PPC up fully enough. I don't focus on private label that much. It just kind of cash flows me barely a little bit. So 3 of the products actually make, on any given month, between 50 and 300 bucks. I'll repeat that. 3 of the products make between 50 and 300 bucks every single month. It's practically not worth reordering, but since they are cash flowing currently and my ads are pretty much on autopilot where it's some manipulation here and there, I do keep them going, but if that ever wavers, I will completely cut those products, and maybe I'll give somebody that idea if you want to pursue it. Now that 4th product does earn me anywhere from 500 to $1,000 a month, so altogether it's probably closer to $1,000 private label wise ish that I'm earning, but the majority of months it's sitting like 800 to $1,000, in payments. So that's like $400 to $500 in my Amazon account from private label products every single month. So it's not that good, or sorry, that's 2 payments because they pay you out in a 2-week period. So that's private labeling number 2, which then ties me into number 3, which is creating content and information products. Now this is related to 1 and 2 as well. A key thing that you're gonna see here, they're all related. And the reason being is I got my start creating, like I said, I did arbitrage on Poshmark, I did it on Mercari, I did it on Amazon, and I also private labeled. So what do you think my first couple courses were on? Well, there was a private label course, there was an Amazon arbitrage course, there was an Amazon dropshipping course, and then there was a Poshmark course. Now, the Poshmark course, I think, was the first course I ever created, and I put that on a site like Udemy, which we're gonna talk about here in a second, and it is completely, I look back at that and I cringe, just kind of like I look back at some of the YouTube videos that I did, a year ago and cringe very, very hard. So it's tough to watch now, but there is some good information in there, obviously, and it just proves to you that you don't have to be amazing to start and actually make money on a site like Udemy. Just if you have good information, put a course together and you can start earning passive income right away from that information. So creating content and information products, a phenomenal business model. I highly recommend. So you're talking YouTube channels here. We're also talking, digital content and courses, sometimes ebooks, and all forms and fashions of that. Maybe a membership group or a membership site. Also very, very good models to roll with. So currently I have 45 Udemy courses. So quite a bit of courses, all ranging from online marketing strategies to e-commerce and various other topics that I'm interested in. I have 12 Skillshare courses currently because I have been suspended from Skillshare 3 times now, I think. It's either 2 or 3. And I'm actually on my new IP address, so hopefully no one from Skillshare is actually watching this, but I was suspended from Skillshare a while back. I think they thought that I was manipulating the referrals, but I wasn't. I just came over from Udemy and I had a bunch of students. So long story short, I'm on there now. I have about 12 Skillshare courses, but it's fairly recent. I have one premium course, Online Arbitrage Pro, which is basically where I teach people to make that 5 to 8K a month, sometimes 5 to 10 if you're fully scaled up a month from Online Arbitrage. Shameless plug, first link in the description if you guys want the Online Arbitrage Pro course. It's always linked #1 in the description. So that's actually not my first premium course, by the way, too. I had a course probably 6 months to a year ago called Udemy Instructor Pro, and it didn't really sell that well. I think I only sold 4 copies of it at like $500, or maybe it's $595. I don't even remember, but I didn't really test the market out well enough. I wasn't good at marketing or promoting it. I didn't have, nearly the following that I potentially have now, or the outreach, and it just wasn't that good of a product. I didn't sell it well because I just didn't stand behind it enough. Whereas Online Arbitrage Pro, I genuinely feel like that can help people make money. I also have 378 videos on YouTube now currently, so this is my 379th. Pretty cool. I put quite a bit of videos out. Not that many high quality ones initially, but kind of have to get through the quantity essentially to get to the quality, in my opinion. Now, currently I earn about 5K on Udemy, give or take. Some months it's closer to 3K realistically, and some months I earn almost 8 to 10K on Udemy. But on average, I look back and turn the average, it's about 5K on average every single month from when I started to about now. Now I have 40 paid courses, so 5 of those 45 courses are actually free courses. They're lead magnets to get people in. On average, that comes out to about 125 a course, so 40 paid courses at $5 grand, 125 an average on per course. So if you can create a course, slap it on Udemy, capitalize off their customer base, you don't really have to do that much marketing, and you're just gonna collect the passive income from their student base. That's why I love the platform. Obviously you don't have the freedom and controllability like you might have on a site like Teachable, your own website, or a site like Kajabi, and you can't sell it for as much as you want, but you get the free students and you get to capitalize off the student base that they've already done, and they market your stuff a lot of times for you. So it's a great place to start. 12, like I said, Skillshare courses as well, and I only earn $50 a month currently on Skillshare. Because it's a different pay system. It's a revenue share, so I don't have that high with only 12 courses and not that much content. I don't have a big enough share, of the content space on Skillshare yet to be making that much money. And actually the majority of what I make is actually in referrals on Skillshare. It's not actually with my premium instructor pay, which is a funny little caveat. And if you guys want Skillshare, you want to start on Skillshare for 2 months free, I'm actually a premium member myself, but there will be a link in the description for 2 free months of Skillshare if you want to hop on there. Some of the Skillshare courses that I offer are not actually on Udemy, and vice versa, because a lot of times you can't put the same information on there. Skillshare has different terms of service and different policies as Udemy. So some courses are the same, but there's probably a good 4 or 5 that aren't actually on Udemy that you can hop on and access for free if you want to do that for 2 free months. And for everybody that goes through that link and signs up for free and collects the 2 free months, I get $10. So that's how I make the majority of my Skillshare revenue. Full disclosure. Now on YouTube, I talked about this recently. I'll drop a video up in the right-hand corner right now, and I'll also link it in the description below next to all the videos that I'm referencing. And I earn probably about $500 to $600 a month. It's probably right around $550 on average every single month on YouTube now. So if you want to check out all, basically how much YouTube paid me for a viral video, you can check that link in the description and the card up in the right-hand corner. Now, also from content, I earn about 2 to 3K a month on, for my Online Arbitrage Pro course, which is my premium course. Sometimes it's closer to 2, sometimes it's closer to 3. It all depends on how many coupon codes I give away and how many people I inspire to get in the course. But that's pretty much what I make all from my information, products, business. Moving on. The next is also tied to the information products business. See a chain here, guys. See how they're all related. I'm not starting something that's completely unrelated to any of the other business models that I'm talking about. They're all very related, so I can maintain my focus. And number 4 is affiliate marketing. Now, how does affiliate marketing relate to content creation, and all the other things? Well, affiliate marketing, I link relevant affiliate products that I believe in my description on YouTube. If I'm making a video on online arbitrage and running through a tutorial, well, I use Jungle Scout every single day in my online arbitrage business. I link an affiliate link in the YouTube video promoting that Jungle Scout affiliate link, and I can make a commission if people buy it through that link. I also promote it in Udemy courses. If I demonstrate the entire course on how to drop ship on Shopify, well, I can get an affiliate link for Shopify for a trial discount and make money that way. I also promote it in my email autoresponder here and there. I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit recently, but I do promote it there sometimes as well. Right now it's only paying me about $500 to $1,000 a month in affiliate revenue, but that is passive income and basically free, because once I set those links up, I just collect and I collect and I collect and I collect every single month. So affiliate marketing, also very related to content creation, and definitely a business model I recommend that you get into. Now the last one is kind of actually funny to me, and I put it on here just because it still pays me. And I've been talking about this for probably 2 years, ever since I started making YouTube videos, and it was actually one of the businesses that I started in tandem with online arbitrage, and that was social media marketing. Now, the very first course that I think that was ever promoted to me when I was learning on YouTube, Tai Lopez's social media marketing course. And yes, I bought it and I went through it and I launched, my entire agency, and I actually signed 2 clients. So I actually eventually lost one of those clients, and I gave my other client away because I did not enjoy social media marketing at all. I didn't enjoy basically having another boss. It was a way that I thought, basically I was working for a company, and I didn't like that business model. I wanted to do my own thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to make my own content. I want to build my own business. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because it full-heartedly does work. I'm not saying, other people don't enjoy it, because I'm sure they do. I don't personally enjoy it, but you're probably sitting there asking yourself, how do you still make money with it if you don't have any clients? Well, I gave my other client away to one of my good friends who started his own agency, and he still pays me $200 every single month. So I basically outsourced that to him, and he has that client now, and he paid me $200 a month for the commission, because it's $2,000 a month client. So that's still paying me every month. Believe it or not, he literally Venmos me $200 every single month. It's kind of funny, but that is another business that is still paying me. Now, a little caveat, I'm gonna give you some bonus ones here. Things that I have my eye on, so cash flow opportunities. I've been watching a lot of different people really recently, and I'm really interested in, potentially investing in a real estate property that cash flows, that I can rent out. So whether that's like Airbnb, or I sign an actual tenant, on a lease, something I'm very interested in, so I can build equity in a property and basically own it long-term while it cash flows. I'm very interested in that, although I don't know enough to actually feel comfortable pulling the trigger yet. Another thing that I've been really into lately is, building a dividend portfolio up. So I love dividend payments, obviously, for the passive income that they're gonna pay you every single month or quarterly, depending on, which dividends you're getting and when each, company and stock pays that dividend out. It varies, month to month here and there. But I love the ability to build a dividend portfolio, really realistically put my money in stocks, blue chip stocks, or, ETFs potentially, that I believe in long term, because for me, it's a long-term game. I want to invest my money long-term while it compounds over time, so that, when I'm 50, 60, I have a fund that has grown to, maybe a couple million realistically, if not more, while I'm collecting the dividend payments while I'm building it up passively, so I'm getting that passive income every month. So just to give you an example, now I am nowhere, I just started building my dividend portfolio up, realistically like 2 months ago. I am nowhere near 100 grand in there, full disclosure, but let's just play around with some numbers. Let's say hypothetically I had 10 grand in my dividend portfolio, and it's diversified over a couple of different stocks. So maybe I'm getting, an average of 3% dividend yield over the majority of my stocks. So let's just take some average numbers here and play around with it to show you the power of this as you're building it. So 10 grand, if I was earning 3% on 10 grand every single year, that would be $300 a year divided by 12. It's not that great, is it? It's only 25 bucks a month passively in dividend payments. Now let's say I built that up to 100 grand a year, and I am earning 3% on average on that 100 grand. That's 3 grand a year in dividend payments, or it would be $250 a month passively. So that's full passive income just in my dividends, while that's compounding over time interest wise. And I don't think I'm that far off of 100 grand. And if you start early, you might only have 500 to invest every single week or every single month, but that's going to build up over time and also pay you passively. That's why I love dividend investing. I've been really passionate, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about it recently. Now let's have a little bit of fun. Let's say maybe I put 500 grand in there in the next 5 years or something like that, earning about 3% dividend yield a year. Well, that's 15 grand a year, or $1,250 every single month passively, which would pay for my car insurance, and you know, maybe a little bit of health insurance too. So that's a great, you know, piece of change passively that you're making on that 100 or that 500 grand in dividend payments. Now, if I got to $1 million, just to have a little bit of fun, we'll do one more, saying we're earning 3% on $1 million, 30 grand every single year passively in dividend payments. Now that would be a fun $2,500 in dividend payments, which is probably pretty close to my expenses right now. They might be a little bit under, a little bit over, but that would cover my expenses. You know, I pretty much live for free just on my dividend payments, and I'm sure you could do something similar. So that's the power of dividend investing. That's why I love it, and it's something I'm looking heavily into in the future, not just to build long-term wealth as my money compounds over time, but also to earn passive income and dividend payments every quarter or month, depending on when your stocks pay that out. It's something I full-heartedly believe in, and something I highly suggest that you look into as well. So there you have it, guys. That's basically how I built 5 streams of income that pay me every single month. You can take this information and act on it and do something very, very similar. Don't forget to drop a comment if you have a question, and also if you haven't already answered, I really want to hear from you guys. I want to know how many income streams you have yourself. You know, is it 2? Is it only 1? Are you trying to branch out and build a second? Maybe you have 5, maybe you have 10. I would love to know from you. Drop a comment down below, and you know, even if it's just one number, just let me know. I would love to hear, you know, where the audience and the people that watch this channel are actually at in their online entrepreneurship journeys. So hope you like this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.